So if someone wanted to read one of your books or has never read any horror books or maybe not even watched horror movies, maybe they don't like horror movies. I'm not going to mention any of them as an example, but you get my point. Which of your books should they start with, and why would you recommend them starting with that particular book first?
Can I take off the fedora of truth?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Be prepared. No, I gotta keep it on. Too powerful. Okay, so I've written about camping. I've written about uh, wine tasting, prospecting for gold. I've written about self-esteem, and not in the 80s, but a powerful 80s reference. There's a reason for that in the book. So, I've written about health issues, healthcare, not the healthcare system. Scary enough all into itself, right? But I touched and took a flavor from a physical therapist perspective in the heinous. I also covered first responder. So you could say, yes, there's a little bit of medical connotation in those. There's self esteem, hits in a couple books. Um, I would have to say a good place to start would be picking Murphy's. Which I've been prompted to, even though the fedora of truth is on and it's all compelling right now, I have to stop. I'll give you one more question.
For question. How long does it normally take you to write a book?
Hmm.
Do you
Okay.
have a particular place that you like to go, like in your house, or you go to the park, or you get distracted easily? Like,
Ah, what'd you say again? Uh, okay. So writing happens where writing happens. And again, writers got to write. So fun. Um, no certain place that I write better. Breath Reality, the meat and potatoes of that was done at campground picnic table on a replacement desktop when I started to take to transcribe really to take Breath Reality from my water cooler downstairs where it had been for about 3 years. So I wrote it on. I was on break at work, um, um, holidays, at nights, in the morning, whenever I thought of something interesting, whenever I wanted to complete. Three is a very powerful number with me. You'll find that out when you read my books. There's reasons for that as well. I talked other videos about that as well. But so there's no time limit. There's no location. It's actually taking good notes. I have all the notes on paper for Breath Reality still. I have the new stuff that I've done, with the exception of doing notes and taking and adding stuff. But if I'm out somewhere, when I add that, that's the only that's the only part of it. So it's not going to be massive amounts of writing. But as far as that goes, there's no time limit. Again, I'm lucky enough not to have a quota, but I'm also unlucky enough to have no major following because I am not, under the arm of a traditional publisher. But that's coming. I've got some good content waiting for the right company, the right person to do that. But yeah, as far as all that goes, as an entirety, um, there's no good or bad time. There's definitely no time limit. And I would say Breath Reality, even though it was finished in about 3 months, that's notes, that's everything, without being transcribed. It sat on that cooler, like I said, for 3 years and didn't do anything with it. Other books that I felt went really well, Picking Murphy's, I did actually on vacation. Most of that was done actually in Murphy's, California. That was done, the majority of the notes and a good 4 chapters right there. It just hit, quick, fluid, top bottom design, and then I got stuck because I didn't like where it was going. I had to pull back and change it. The Heinous, with as much health issues as I've experienced with my feet and a couple other friends that I know that I talked to, how I tied everything together, that that came within about a 2 month period. As far as all done on computer, ready for a test reader within just about 2 months. Now, more changes were done afterwards. I actually uh, toned some things down. I actually had to get in and actually do things a little bit different with one part, and then I was able to actually do something further in another. So uh, uh, I don't really know. First responder was difficult to write. That came really quick, but I didn't know how I wanted to throw it together. So it turns out when I worked on first responder, I actually had enough content for 2 books that I actually had to stop and find a good ending, a pause for first responder, and then start off with book two from there. So no template, no formula, no secret drink.